Welcome back to Xenonauts. Last time we got into the aerial combat minigame to deal with an onslaught of alien UFOs. We took down a squad of Androns somewhere in Africa, and then we went on a terror mission in Oslo, just about getting through the mission without any casualties, despite a very near thing with Big Iron. So we're right after that mission now. Charlie 1 needs to sneak back home without being attacked by the alien UFOs flying nearby. On the way we research rapid fire lasers, so we've got a laser version of our machine gun and something to put on our planes as well, so that's handy. And we do make it back safely, but once back I realised there was a big mistake I've been making for the entire game that could be lethal. I realised that when engineering projects finish, the engineers don't automatically work on other open projects. So we saw there, when I assigned a new project, 10 free engineers were available to start working on it, whereas I would have assumed they would have been working on the projects that were also ongoing in the same workshop. And that's basically reduced my production capacity for the entire game, because every time I'd finish making a set of armor, I didn't go in and reassign them to something else. I just assumed they would start working on the next plane or something that was in the queue. So that is very annoying. Now we make it to the end of the next month, and you can see the world isn't too angry with us this time, so that's nice. It's not the whole world cutting our funding like it usually is. And now that I know the way funding works, we've got more money to spend. I had previously, as I mentioned, tried to keep my upkeep value in my balance for the start of each month, because I thought it was gradually taken away over the month, so you couldn't spend it. But actually it happens completely separately, so the money in your balance can be spent on things, and we will be spending it on making our third base operational. Now the same thing that I said for engineering also goes for research, and that's probably the killer. I realised at this point that throughout the entire game half my scientists weren't doing anything, because when they finish a project they don't work on other projects until you've assigned a new one or have gone in to reassign them to old projects. So we've been lagging behind, both because I haven't been building labs because I thought I couldn't afford them, and because the scientists I did have weren't doing anything half the time. And that's really bad. We'll see whether that makes the game unwinnable, I suppose, as we go on. Now we take down a corvette over Turkey very easily, and it's time for Charlie 1 to go check it out. After deploying out of the chopper, there was clear evidence of alien presence very nearby. A civilian is being shot by at least 3 different aliens who were all around him. Somehow he gets away with it just being suppressed. So I knew the aliens were right there, but I couldn't really see them because of this hedge. I thought maybe if we just gun the hedge down, we'll get line of sight. So Trigger Down tries it, but we weren't able to see anything. But I wasn't going to give up on the idea. I thought, let's just keep destroying this hedge to get as much line of sight as possible. And Ray and Prey actually does reveal there's an alien standing right there, so that's handy. We can send in a shotgunner to go and shoot over the mound that the hedge leaves behind, since it counts as cover. I also spot another alien on the other side of the field, and we know there's probably one more over there as well. So there's Betty Buckshot dealing with the close by alien. Then in the next turn I'm able to get some shots over that mound as well with a machine gun and take down the alien at a distance. In the meantime, I think that civilian died, by the way, so that's a shame. His luck finally ran out. An alien drone appears in the entrance to the next field and hits Trigger Down. That little fence she's behind doesn't really count as cover, I think. I needed to move up a couple of squad members to get line of sight before I could retaliate, and once I had it, I thought I could do a little move here with High Cal by shooting with a shot that has a 100% chance to be blocked, in the hope that the blockage would be destroyed and then later shots in that burst would go on and hit some targets. Doesn't quite work like that, unfortunately. We still can fire though with Ray and Prey. Her shots are also apparently going to be blocked, but we get away with it and kill the alien at least. The drone then went back into the field and out of our line of sight, so I had to move up further to try and find it. Here I moved up there for now, and then arbitrarily decided to turn him around and discovered there was another alien right there. It seemed like we could get a shot, so I decided to take one, but it didn't have the expected result. He actually shot the hedge to his left, and that ended up revealing that the drone is right there. This is now a problem because the drone's right in front of us, and it has a machine gun weapon, so it could just shoot us like up to 10 times at point blank range, presumably with high accuracy. I moved up the rest of the squad to support because I can't run away, and hoped that that would spread the damage out, and it sort of works. We take a whole load of shots onto Ray and Prey, and then the alien shoots Xenonauts. They both get damaged, and Ray and Prey is nearly dead actually, but no casualties. Xenonauts does panic and starts running away, but we can deal with this situation without him right now. Ray and Prey can't fire because of the suppression, but we've still got Haikal who can shoot at that alien. That's easy enough. As for the drone, I was aware it was just in the little bit that we couldn't see off to our left. There it is. So we're just going to shoot it with a shotgun, doing the old school shield and shotgun tactic that I haven't actually used in a while. There we go, a use for it. That's done. Now we can put our squad back together and heal up before we go over to attack the UFO. There was nothing else on the rest of the map. We destroyed the door and took a look inside using Ver for now. I'm just walking in on a scouting mission to go in, take a look round to see what we can expect, and then we'll just go away. We discovered 2 aliens on the left, and now we'll just use the rest of our time units to run outside and set up for another attack now that we know what to expect. In the next turn, one of the aliens has actually moved to a position out of cover in the corridor, so Verfanau can now shoot down the corridor and take out the alien easily. Very nice work from him. After that, we'll just move right back and end the turn again, just so that we can commence our attack fully fresh with all of our time units available. I ended up setting up most of the squad in the corridor, ready to attack from a slightly closer position. One of the red shirt aliens walked in front of us, and Verfanau bagged another kill, instantly taking him down with reaction fire. That's what we like to see. Now there's another blue alien still on the left, and here one of my new shield bearers, Barrel Scrape, I think his name was. He's not very good. He discovers the alien, he gets out of the way to let the big girls deal with the issue, and Buckshot effectively ends the mission. There was another alien somewhere apparently, we just never saw them and they never came to attack us, so we ended up winning since we captured the UFO. Wounds all round, Charlie 1's in a bit of a state, but no casualties, and some more money gained from that mission. Now we attack the UFO over America. We're finally getting started with this rodeo base. The issue for this engagement was I only had 1 Foxtrot fighter here, and it takes more than 2 torpedoes to down a corvette. Fortunately though, it turns out the Condors can still defeat corvettes if we do this. Shoot from behind using our new rapid fire laser. That does the damage. So we've got a mission for the newly formed Charlie 3 to go on there now. Just before that, there was one more engagement over Europe somewhere. Lots of UFOs attacking Europe at the moment, and Asia seems to be very quiet. Anyway, here I had 2 Foxtrots. It was that issue where I needed to try and shake aggro on one of the Foxtrots, but I realised you don't need to do that. I was being far too paranoid before. You can just do that I did there. The Foxtrot slightly outranges the Corvette, so just by flying head on, you can launch your missiles and then turn away before the enemy fires back, and the missiles will down the alien craft. So here is Charlie 3's mission. We got the message telling us there's an alien officer to capture, so we'll try and do that, but keep in mind that Charlie 3 is a pure vanilla squad. It's got the starting equipment, the starting stats, no armor, so we really shouldn't expect too much here, and I'm going to play this very carefully. I explored all around the chopper, and it took me a long time to actually find any aliens, but when I did find one, I was relieved to see it's the generic blue-shirted aliens from the start of the game as well, so we're not facing anything too difficult like the Androns. We are going to be subject to psychic attacks, which occasionally throughout the mission caused our guys to randomly panic and start running away, but overall it didn't cause much of an issue just because the fighting isn't very intense, so one guy running away doesn't matter too much. Now, while looking for that alien, I discovered a drone in this warehouse that could outflank us, so I decided to dedicate some of the squad to facing this direction in general to deal with it. It came around the corner and destroyed the shield of Fake Eye's Fritz and did some damage to him there. The alien I was looking for among the shipping containers appears right in front of some of my squad and just gets destroyed, so at least we don't have to deal with that. Our sniper is attacked with a psychic thing that makes him unnerved. I'm not sure what unnerved really means. It's not as bad as panicked, I suppose. Maybe it just removed movement points. Doesn't matter for this turn because he's just a sniper and he can't do anything. Now we need to deal with the drone. I knew it was right next to me. It's probably just around the corner because it would have used all of its time units shooting. However, my squad members nearby are suppressed, so I'm going to run away with Fake Eyes, Fritz and Gunner Carry Squad to hide somewhere that should be out of its line of sight. It starts firing at my guys who came through the door to the warehouse, missing every shot, and then it goes into the nearby alleyway, and this time, again, I know it's right next to me, so we can just walk up to it and destroy it with a shotgun attack, and that does the trick. Now there was another delay as I moved up to the top of the map very slowly and carefully, not encountering any aliens and not finding the UFO either. I thought I'd clear out this building just on the off chance that an alien was hiding up here in the corner of the map, and there actually was one here, so we can take him out to avoid potentially being outflanked. Later, it's Gunner Carry Squad and Fake Eyes Fritz again going at it here. I just waited outside the door so I could have full movement points for when I attacked, and the alien didn't move luckily, and Fake Eyes goes in with the stick to deal the killing blow, or the stunning blow as it were. He's called Fake Eyes, by the way, because he has really low accuracy, so that's why I've given him the stick, since it doesn't rely on accuracy. Now again, like 5 or 6 minutes later, I've moved to the left-hand side of the map and found the UFO with no contacts so far. I start setting up outside, and Functional here discovers an alien hiding just behind this wall. Again, I'm going to use a stick to take him out, since it's almost a guaranteed thing, and I've got another shield bearer, Sit and Duck, who goes in to make the attack. I was considering going in with a gunner, since I think you don't get experience, someone said, for stunning aliens. You don't train your accuracy stat, most likely anyway. Anyway, so he did stun him in the end, just to get things going. Then, an alien appeared on our left flank. He must have been hiding among these shipping containers. Luckily, he didn't fire. That could have been dangerous. Now he's sitting there in the open with no cover, so we'll get Functional to fire. This guy, barely Functional, has really low time units, so he can only just fire his weapon every turn. In this case, he gets the shots off, but it doesn't get a kill, so I'm going to move in Thin Skin here, a rifle troop with really low health, who probably can't take any damage whatsoever. In this case, she does get a kill though. Taking a peek inside the Corvette, we discover what appears to be the alien officer. It's a blue guy with a black hat on. So there was that tip saying that headgear was the giveaway for being an officer, so this must be the guy we need. And we need to get him alive. So we need to either hit with a stun stick or use our stun grenades. I wanted to try the grenades because we could theoretically throw it sort of around a corner and do it safely because it has a big area of effect. In this case, I actually can't quite get the area of effect to cover where the officer was, but I threw the stun grenade in anyway because I believe if the aliens happen to walk into the gas, it still stuns them and they try to path around it, so to some extent the gas being there will allow us to safely hang out at the front of the UFO. I took another peek after a couple of turns. The officer's still there, so I need to get a better throw, one that goes more to the left of the room so that he actually gets caught in the cloud. It looked like something would be possible here. I need to get Sit and Duck out of the way because she's blocking the throw. Now I just needed to find a sweet spot where the throw wasn't going to be blocked by either the wall in front of me or those barrel things, and I finally found a bit of ground that I could throw to with a decent chance of it working, but it didn't work because any throw can be thrown wildly inaccurately, and I think Thin Skin threw it at the wall to her left or something, hit herself, was stunned, Sit and Duck got out of the corridor, so Thin Skin won't be dead because the gas just knocks you out, but we'll just have to leave her in there for now and wait like 4 or 5 turns. The gas will gradually go away, and finally we can move up and take a look at the aftermath. And funnily enough, it appears that both the officer and one other alien ended up getting stunned somehow by the gas. They must have walked into it, or the gas maybe can move, I'm not quite sure. So that worked pretty well, and with that done, we've actually secured most of the UFO. There was one more alien inside who came out and took a shot. Fortunately it missed because a shot with a plasma rifle could kill us in one hit since we're unarmoured. Our reaction fire also misses, and now we're in a decent position to bring this guy down. He's not in cover, so I could shoot him, but I was quite liking using Fake Eyes Fritz with his wild charge strategy, and once again it works. He's just getting away with it. The aliens could just shoot him as he runs at them, but the probability of it actually happening is unknown. So that's the end of the mission. It says that we executed most of the captives, so I think what happens is if you capture aliens more than once, it doesn't count. So there's no need to continue capturing aliens. You can't get intelligence or research off them or anything like that. But that aside, the good news is that Charlie 3's first mission was a success. It was nearly a perfect mission, and we captured the alien officer, so we have a new research we need to do to interrogate him, and we'll get on to that. Now another interception over Africa. It's 2 fighters and a corvette, and in my squadron I have 2 Foxtrots. And what I was worried about was that our Foxtrots don't really have a way to deal with the fighters. They don't have any guns aside from their torpedoes, so we can launch the torpedoes at the corvette, and then they're just there, they'll just get shot. So we're just going to have to deal with that basically. I needed to get past the fighters to attack the corvette, and what I thought I'd try and use is this evasive roll ability the Foxtrots have. So once the fighters start shooting them, I'll activate evasive roll. It's not very clear what exactly it does, but the tooltip claims it gives you some ability to dodge incoming projectiles, so I click on it. It doesn't make it clear whether it's active or whether it only happens at the moment you click on it or something, I'm not quite sure. But long story short, our torpedoes are launched and bring down the corvette, and then the fighters shoot the Foxtrots, damaging them, but while they were distracted doing that, our 1 Condor took out the fighters. So not a perfect engagement, but we got the result we needed. So now we've got 2 downed UFOs in Europe and Africa. I've got Charlie 2 on the way to the one in Europe. And Charlie 1 right now isn't in best condition. Basically, the entire squad is wounded to some degree, so I'm going to skip that one in Africa to give them a bit of a break, and we'll just let Charlie 2 take that mission from earlier. The action started right away. We could see a drone just outside of the helicopter, so before we've really done anything, we need to try and take it down. The problem is, there's a civilian in the way. That's no problem for McScope though. We take the shot, miss the civilian, and hit the drone, so that worked well. Now we've also got Roger Ranger at the front of our squad, who can do the same thing, shooting over the civilian's other soldier. We're just gambling that we won't hit the civilian, and we get it. So that guy had his sideburns shaved off, but we might have saved his life with a bit of trick shooting there. There also happened to be another alien we could see from the helicopter off to our right, and J-Mobile sends some bullets out, that takes it down. Now I started moving down through the alleyway where we'd seen the drone, and we discovered another alien on the roof of this warehouse. We can't really see each other, we've just become aware that it's up there. There's a chimney in the way. I'm not quite sure why I even have line of sight on it if the shot is 100% blocked, since you'd think that means it's actually not in our line of sight, but whatever. There's a way to get up there using some stairs here, so I thought I'd send a couple of guys up to try and take that room at the top with the alien in it, and then from there we should be able to see most of the map and find out what's going on in general. So I start making my way up, but there is a bit of an issue. I move another operative over to this little warehouse to the left and open the door, and there's an alien inside, and I don't have enough points to close the door again, so I have to just crouch awkwardly in the door and hope I don't get shot there with no brain. The alien actually shoots past her and manages to hit McScope behind 2 fences at the back there, so a bit of trick shooting from the aliens, I think. Once that was over, we'll be safe to make a counter-attack since we have so many squad members right there ready to go and take him down. Plus, I was able to get a couple of squad members up onto the roof to deal with that other alien. No Brain gets the kill with her laser rifle easily enough. Another alien actually appeared from the UFO and has potential outflanking shots on us here. It takes some shots but only gets suppression, no damage fortunately. So we'll just keep that in mind. The nice thing we have going for us is that the roof overlooks where that alien is standing, so I thought let's send even more people up onto the roof to be extra safe. I would have just fired back with the gunner, but we don't have enough TUs after the suppression to do it. Meanwhile, up on said roof, we get some stick work with same boots as the last guy to take out the alien we saw earlier hiding up here, and that all goes fine. Then I got Roger Ranger up onto the roof to do some sniping, first to take out the alien we already knew was down there and to look around to find any other targets and shoot at them. But as for other targets, I don't know if there are any, because I actually haven't played past this part of the mission, so I'm going to have to end the video there. This is apparently as far as I got by the time I needed to make this video. I forgot I didn't finish it. It's Dark Souls 3's fault, it's been distracting me. So if anything particularly interesting does happen as we go into the UFO, I'll include that at the start of the next part. And then of course we'll continue on into the campaign, which may or may not spiral out of control, since if the aliens go up a tech level, we're going to be screwed. I'm interested to find out, so I hope you'll join me.